Hey, I thought I would try something different for the updates today. Um, Instead of just getting them an email, I've recorded this on Zoom and then uploaded it to YouTube and given you a YouTube link so that you can see and hear me while I say the same things that the email say, just in case you wanted to see it this way and so that I can practice because Jesse's making me try new things. Um, the first thing is that we are starting to get your learning plans in. Y'all, they look amazing. I can tell how much work you've already put into them, and I appreciate it so much. But as we approve those, even if we send you back something that say it's approved, we're going to ask you not to send it out yet. I'm working on a letter for parents, and that letter will be the first page of every at-home learning packet so that parents know what we're going to do with the packets, how they can return work to us, if we're going to use those for extra credit. All the questions that they may have that we're working on answers to will be included in every pack. So when we send it back, that we have approval, wait for us to send you a final version before you start to distribute. What we've been kind of doing is tackling one big problem a week. Last week, we needed to be sure our kids had access to nutritious meals. This week, we needed to figure out how we were going to teach them at home. And next week, we're going to distribute all of those packets and we're going to distribute report cards. That's just a new challenge. And what we're noticing, which is amazing, is that y'all are home and you're thinking of all the things. And we're thinking of all the things. But we've kind of been eating these elephants one bite at a time, and distribution and then getting kids things like their workbooks and their interactive notebooks and take-home readers and things like that. We haven't gotten to a place where we can eat that elephant yet. With the essential staff, it's been all hands on deck, but it's a very small number of hands and everybody's working really hard. So just hang with us while we get that right, and know that next week we will deal with all of those things, and we will make sure to communicate those with you as quickly as we can. If you've got kids in tier 2 or tier 3, of course, since we're not in school, they're not really getting the kind of instruction they would be if we were. So it kind of messes with our tier 1. So your timelines basically stop for interventions and classroom instruction. You can send them assignments in iExcel and encourage them to do those, but of course they're not going to be required and they won't count as intervention time. They'll just be good practice time that'll help them later. If you had kids who had gone all the way through the intervention process and had been referred for comprehensive assessment, if we had that meeting for parents to get permission to test, we'll move forward with that while we're out of school, and we'll stay within the timeline that is prescribed by law. But if we haven't gotten permission to test yet, we're going to put those on hold until we have a better handle on what's going on. When are we coming back, and things like that. And once we know that, we'll be able to schedule those next round of meetings and move forward with the rest of the kids that we need to. The State Board of Education meets tomorrow. I'll be listening in on that meeting. I had a meeting today virtually to listen to the state superintendent, and she talked about what's going to be on that meeting. It's a lot of the questions you have about Carnegie units, about awarding credits, about promotion retention, about state testing. A lot of those things are going to be addressed tomorrow. And once that's done, I will send that out to you. So look for that from me tomorrow. A lot of what I will tell you tomorrow probably is that we're going to have some latitude, but that our board will have to adjust policies. So we'll be planning on that. But some of the questions we'll be able to answer directly. On the school calendar, a lot of you noticed that it says we're going to be in school July 30th and 31st. That's really just our PD days that are in the summer that we planned for to be during June and July. But Ms. Janet needs a start date and an end date for contracts, and it needs to reflect professional development days. So those are the days that we've put on the calendar to reflect that. Those likely will be makeup days for PD if people couldn't make any of the other ones, or if we have new teachers come on board who were hired after the PD days. if for some reason the coronavirus keeps us from being able to do our professional development in the summer like we planned, we'll go back to the drawing board, we'll revise the original calendar, and we'll get that new calendar out to you. But don't anticipate working July 30th and 31st unless something comes up and you can't work any of the other summer PD days. Like I said, keep being patient with us. When we all went to school to be administrators, this was not in the handbook. So we're kind of learning as we go. It's been a lot of fun in some ways because it challenges us to think outside the box and approach things in a different way, and to not just think outside the box, but to build a new box. And that's been great because we get to see how creative all of you are. But it's still a challenge, and we're still trying to take things slowly and be really intentional and not do things too quickly and be careless with them, because we know that ultimately that will hurt our students. So just keep being patient with us. Know that while you're at home and thinking all of the things in quarantine and trying to get answers for those things right now, that we're at work, we're thinking all of those same things, and trying to do each week what has to happen right now and make sure that we take care of those things real systematically. We'll get to all of the things. Just be patient and know that today, getting to see some of your faces and see y'all interact with each other, it was a lot for us. I mean, it meant the world to see some of our people's faces again. We've missed y'all. I do miss y'all. I miss seeing you. And I can't wait for you to be back. But in the interim, just know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your families, and that I love you and your families and our warrior family very deeply. And I know that if you've got to go to war, this is who you want to go to war having your back, is you guys. So thanks. And I love y'all. Stay safe.